All right. Let's, with the apology out of the way, mate, let's talk Bok.
Please.
So, White Dwarf, which we don't actually have in Australia yet, I don't think still. It's been delayed for whatever reason, you know, something about a war.
I got a copy right here.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Okay. Something about a war.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were still doing digital White Dwarfs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, they totally are.
Shout out to the Sheila, I can't remember your name, sorry, who sent that to me on the Bok Facebook page.
Yeah.
Reached out. Good on her.
Goat lovers page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a few there, actually. Yeah. It's a really good community. It's probably the best army community on, like, Facebook page. Well, actually, just in general, so, like, Discord and fucking...
I've seen Babe. I know that all the animals get along.
Yeah.
It's nice.
They do.
It's special. Aw.
Oh, shucks. Anyway, so, Dave, you've got them up.
Yep.
Start at the top, I guess. The allegiance ability... Well, we'll start with the Herdstone, right?
Yeah, cool. So, you've got... Herdstone's got a new war scroll.
Yep.
So it's got better deployment rules now.
Deployment rules are the same, but what's changed is... so the aura starts at 12 now.
Yep.
And if you're within range, you can rally on a 4+.
Amazing.
So that's like Dragon Ogres and Bulgars and fucking goats or anything. If we had Storm Drake Guard on a 4-up, but yeah, obviously that doesn't help.
Yep.
And so that aura starts at 12, and then it grows by 6 every battle round after the first, right?
That's huge.
So at 6, it's 12. But the used to be neg 1 save in that aura as well to enemy units.
Yep.
Well, non-Beast of Chaos units.
Yep.
But now it's just table wide neg 1 rend until turn 3, which is neg 2 rend in combat.
Yeah, which is cool. It's like that angries them up, which is nice.
Bulgars with the great axes are now neg 3 stock.
Yep.
Which is really nice. Dragon Ogres with all the attacks are now neg 1 instead of neg rend 0.
Yep.
So, like, even Ungor Raiders in combat, right? They're 5s and 5s with 1 attack each, but
now they got rend.
Now they got rend. Yeah, I had one take a wound off Kragnos in combat the other day.
Which is, like, amazing.
Yeah, really good. And then something to do about halving battle shock results or halving the amount of models that flee, rounding down.
Yeah, you round down.
Yeah.
So, it's half the number of models that flee.
If you have 3 models fleeing, just based off your roll, it goes down to 1.
Yep.
So it's actually really good. It comes up a fair bit.
Yep.
Keeps those Bravery 4 units around a little bit longer, which is nice. Not as good as Battle Shock immunity, but who cares?
It's also it is impassable terrain.
Yeah. So flyers can't land on it. They can fly over it, can't land on it.
Yep.
Nothing can touch it.
Yep.
Unless if they're like based up against it.
Yep.
So quite easy to zone out. Because obviously this is a prime target now for fucking the monstrous action Smash to Rubble. 3+ destroy a piece of terrain.
Yes. Yep.
Good luck getting there.
Well, it feels like you got a lot of stuff to get through.
Well, you could just chuck it on the backboard now.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it. Back in the day, you used to put it up on the deployment line, like as far forward as you possibly could, just to try and get that neg 1 save aura to be effective.
Yeah,
right?
deep in the table. Yep.
Yeah. By turn 5 it was 30 inches or whatever. So
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like it was good. But now you don't really need to, right? Because sure, the 4-up rally's nice, and the battle shock shit's nice, but it's not as nice as just being alive still.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And being that 12 inches now instead of 6, you've got another 6 inches to have the same effect.
Yep.
Essentially.
And having a 4-up rally in a horde army is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
Like, getting 4 and 5 wound models back on a 4+ is really good. So that's why I've been running Bulgars in units of 6-4.
Yep.
Sure, like, if you lose one, so be it. You don't have to worry about coherency rules anymore.
Yes.
But if there's one model left, which happens a fair bit, I normally leave the banner guy last because he gets +1 bravery for the unit for every enemy unit within 12 inches.
Okay.
So he's generally not failing battle shock.
Yep.
And you just sort of retreat them out, and then next turn you just rally, because you can rally in your opponent's hero phase as well.
Correct, yeah.
So, just, get 3 bulls back, basically.
Yeah, provided you're not in combat obviously.
Yeah. So, really strong. And I'm not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes here. The new Bok changes are absolutely fucked.
Yep.
It's bumped this army up from, if you're talking tiers, I always thought it was like a B tier army.
Yep.
But that's being biased, right? Because I like the army.
Yep.
But, going stats wise, it's bumped them from the bottom tier up to S, in my opinion. I think they're that fucking good, borderline broken now.
Yep.
Especially in this meta that we're in.
Yep.
Elite models, elite units like Stormdrake Guard, Fulminators.
Yep.
You name it, right?
Yeah. Or
hero
monster
monsters.
hero hammer. Yeah.
So, Bok don't care about drops. They've got that much shit on the table because GW, in their infinite wisdom, have just been slowly buffing Bok, whether it be points, drops, or giving extra rules like they did in Broken Realms.
Yep.
And it's just been a slow, steady progress until they've just put the final nail in the coffin of the meta and said, enough's enough, get the Horde armies back, make these cunts fucking broken, right? And that's what's happened. And that's all because of the Herdstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, just playing off that idea for a second, do you see Daughters of Kain following that same kind of approach in that the return of mass witch elves or sisters potentially? So
Daughters, back in their heyday in like second ed, that was when we had discounted Horde units, right? So maxed out to 30 witch elves, they went from 300 to 270 or some shit.
Yep.
Or I think after their points hike, it was like 330 to 300.
Yep.
So you had incentive to take Horde units.
Yes.
Daughters of Kain at the moment, though, they're just in a shit spot because you take 15 bow snakes and Marathi, there's 3/4 of your army, right? So it's
moved to an elite army like everything else in the game at the moment. But I'm wondering if it'll swing back the other way.
Maybe. Best way to counter higher end units is to take units that don't give a fuck about armor saves.
Yeah.
So Bone Splitters is a good example. They've got 6 up saves across the board, right?
Yep.
Except for I think one unit has a 5 up.
Yep. The tattoos.
Fucking they got high wound density.
Yep.
Don't care about rend. Yeah.
I will say one thing. Just you reminded me again, and we'll come back to the Bok in just a moment. But I do remember one thing, thinking that. With gut rippers, so I'm just going to quickly jump over to Cruel Boys for a second, that the issue is that it's expensive. It's 180 points for 10 guys, right? But as you say, because we've lost incentives around taking bulk units and because of the rules around what can be reinforced, if Cruel Boys were actually minimum 5 for 90 points, which is the same points but you could spend less, you'd be limited on how big a unit you could get to because of the number of reinforcements you can take in a list.
Up to 15, right? Instead of 30.
Exactly.
It
changes things.
The reinforcement points really suck. Like armies like Skaven, for example.
Oh, it hurts them the worst.
They can't take anything which was good. Right?
No.
Except for Storm Fiends, so the shooting guys.
Yeah, there's none of this 40 Plague Monks shit anymore.
No. And same can be said for bringing it back to Bok. Same can be said for Goat Heavy lists, like what I'm traditionally known to play.
Yeah.
Lots of Bestigor and all that. Instead of going, say, 2-3 units at 30, all I can do is, say, a couple of 20s and,
And some 10s. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Rip the Bestigor. I'll never see my 100 on the table.
Yep. I just thought it was an interesting. It's an interesting development that's in a lot of ways one of the things that almost invisibly shifted towards Hero Monster Hammer.
It did, yeah. And who knows what the next GHB will bring. If we switch realms, you might get extra reinforcement points. They might just fuck that idea off completely. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Do the coherency rules as well while you're at it.
Please. Yeah, please.
But, go anyway, so Bok, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Creatures of Chaos is battle trait. So which means you've got your own... monstrous rampages.
Yeah. So they're all different for all the different cool monsters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a few standouts.
Yeah, well, Primal Roar is one that you can use with anything.
Yep.
Which is...
Read it out, baby. Read
all
it
right.
out.
So on a 1, nothing happens. 2 to 5, get a primordial call point, which is summoning points.
That's a summoning point, yep.
And on a 6, you get 3 summoning points.
Oh, yeah. You know, my first ever roll with this was a 6.
That's a feel good.
Do you know what 3 primordial call points get you?
Nah.
10 Ungor,
Fuck off.
a
What?
chariot, a spawn.
What?
Yeah. They're all worth 3.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so what this does, this is the best one by far, and it's on top for a reason, right, on that chart. It's the best one because any monster can do it. You don't need to be within 3 inches of an enemy unit to do it either, because there's nothing in the rules that stipulate monstrous actions have to be... you have to be within 3 inches. They're all the ones that you know, like Stomp and Roar and all that.
Yep.
You need to be within 3 inches.
For them to have an effect.
Yeah, but monstrous actions as a rule, you don't need to be within 3.
Yep.
So you can have a cockatrice in the back corner that you just summoned on do this for you.
Yep.
So it's really good. What it does is it brings the average up from 2 to 3.
Yep.
In your turn, for summoning points, because you're with the Herdstone sacrificing, you roll a d3, then you +1 to that for the turn.
Yep.
So you roll the 2, that's 3, 4, and then you do this in your opponent's turn as well.
Yes.
So you go up to 5 for a battle round.
Yeah,
on
which
average,
is
which 5 is a cockatrice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it just adds that extra level, and
Yeah, Box got a lot more cock.
yeah. Yeah, it does.
Sorry.
I love getting my cock out of it.
Demonetized.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the best one.
All right.
What's
so
the next one on the list?
Your next one's Feast on Flesh, which is a Gorgon one. So it's got to be a Gorgon. It's a once per battle.
Yep.
Improve the Ren characteristic by 1 until the end of the following combat phase. In addition, until the end of the following combat phase, each time an enemy model is slain by an attack, this model heals the number of wounds equal to the wounds of the slain model. It's not the wounds taken, but the total wounds of the slain model. So if it gets in late and knocks off something big, it can get a full heal.
Yeah. So if it kills 10 1-wound models, it heals 10 wounds. If it kills 5 2-wound models, it heals 10 wounds. If it kills a 14-wound monster, it heals 14 wounds. Just characteristic, not what's left or the damage done to it.
Well, it says model.
Yeah.
So so each time a model is slain, so 1. Yep.
So really good. It's just a shame that it's not that great. It's once per game. And Gorgons are fine. I love running my Gary.
Yep.
But this isn't what they needed.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's once per game, man. Like, just give me extra rends always, right? Give me an extra damage. Like, Gorgon stats are really good. So they got 5 attacks at full profile, right?
Yep.
3s and 3s, neg 2 with the Herdstone, neg 3 with this, 3 damage.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right? And then it's got 1 attack on its jaw, which is 4s and 3s. It'll be neg 3 with this for d6 damage.
Yep.
Gorgons can also just nom a model.
Yep.
And it's the best nom in the game. It's just equal to the wounds characteristic instead of beating it.
Yep.
So a 6-wound hero, if you roll a 6, it's dead.
Yep.
Nothing else.
Same as a Snatch, actually.
Oh, Snatcher Boss is the same, is it? Yeah, cool.
Well, Scumdrek is.
Yeah. The Snatcher Boss is what? +1? Or neg 1?
It's just got to be more than.
More than, yeah. Yeah, so Star Drake's more than. Then all the Gargants are fucking weird and different, like the War Stomper.
And stick them in your pants or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Sorry, get in me bag, whatever.
It's all the same, right?
Sorry. Yeah, it's the ferret move.
But yeah, like that rule's really good for breaking coherency and fucking getting around high durable models, save stacking, all that.
Yeah.
But once per game, they're 14 wounds on a 5-up save, and they're slow in terms of monsters. They don't fly.
Yep.
But in saying that, they're also like 150 points, so they're cheap as fuck.
Fuck, that is a cheap as fuck.
Yeah, Gary's really good. He doesn't make it into my list though at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the next one, mate?
Devour Spell, which is a Cygor.
Oh, yeah.
So pick an endless spell within 6 inches, roll 2 dice. If it exceeds the casting value, then the endless spell is dispelled. And this model heals a number of wounds equal to your roll.
Yep. So the Cygor, well, this would be great if the Cygor was great.
Yeah, okay.
But the Cygor is shit.
All right.
No one takes endless spells at the moment except for the cheeky Emerald Life Swarm, or you're versing KO. They've got the Rat Trap.
Yeah, or someone's sticking some fucking portals.
Oh,
Portals for reach.
anything that does portals can auto dispel it in that hero phase as well after they've cast all their
They
spells.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So like Kairos and Legion,
Yep.
Zinch, fucking, you know.
yeah.
Maybe not Soul Blight, but you don't really see Pauls too much in Soul Blight. You don't see Soul Blight too much either, really.
Not yet.
No, not yet. But I'm keen to get those cunts on the table.
Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah, so that one's shit. What's the next one? Jabberslot?
Yeah, Jabberslith. So this is the Entropic Miasma. So it's pick an enemy hero within 3, roll a dice. On 1, nothing happens. 2 to 5, save characteristic of the hero is reduced by 1
Yeah.
to a minimum of a 6-up. So you can't get rid of their save completely. But and it's for the combat phase till the end of the following combat phase. But on a 6, it's reduced by 2
Yep.
until the end of the following combat phase. So that's pretty sweet.
So this is the best one if you don't include Primal Roar.
Because you've already got the kick to rend, and then this is pulling the save, so you're doubling down.
So what the save modifier does, well, what Rend does is it counteracts with save stacking.
Yep.
What changing the characteristic does means that, like, say if you just roll a 2, so it's -1,
Yep.
means that your 4-up save now goes to a 5,
Yep.
which means that you can never pass a save on a 3-up if your save stacked more than the Rend.
Yep.
So Gargants, as
Yep.
an example, with Mystic Shield, all that defense, all that, they're saving on a 3-up.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're saving on a 4-up
Yep.
because of this rule.
Yep.
This works on Ethereal as well. So if Nighthorn ever get a cool hero model that kills a lot of shit,
Yep.
this will work on that
Mm-hmm.
because it's only heroes.
Yes. There's only heroes. Yep.
Kragnos, the 6 matters, the 1 doesn't because
Yeah.
he's saving on a 2-up.
He's a 2-up.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like a Maw Crusher, meaning it can never save on 2s.
Yep.
So, yeah, it really benefits.
It gives you a window.
Yeah,
Gives you a window to actually start reducing some of the output of something bigger.
yeah. Bellicor, who's ethereal, this works on him as well.
Yeah,
So
okay.
turning his 4-up to a 5-up is huge. That's an extra 50% damage output, right?
And as you say, it's because it's not affecting as a modifier to a save roll. It's actually reducing the baseline of the save first.
Yeah.
And then the modifiers are occurring off the new baseline.
Yep.
It's really... thanks, G-Dubs, for just throwing something completely fucking different in there.
Now, there's been a few change to save characteristic things over the years. Like Cities of Sigmar have one which changes it to dash, the spell.
Yeah, yep.
Whatever the fuck it's called. Anvil Guard and Harkuron, I think.
Yep.
They're the ones that have it. Acidic Spray. Vitriolic Spray.
Yeah, Vitriolic Spray, yep.
Yeah, so that's a good candidate to throw through a spell portal with, say, Krondus,
Yep.
who's the wizard dragon from Stormcast, the blue one.
Yep.
With the +3 to cast, puts it through a spell portal, and then you just shoot something up with crossbows. Hence Stormcast players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Cities needs more help.
It does,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, if you don't want to play the basic bitch living city army, then
Yep.
there are other ways that you can play the game, right?
Do you remember when I used to play Living Cities with steam tanks?
Yeah. Oh, how you've grown, Dave.
I have. All right. So here's the last one. This is for a Chimera. This is Thricefold Savagery. What do we got here? Until the end of the following combat phase, +1 attacks to the model's melee weapons. But all attacks made with this model must target the same enemy unit. So you can't split your attacks, but you get extra attacks against whatever it is you're going into.
Yep. The old Chimera. I was running 3 of them at the start of the edition.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun. This was before the new Stormcast Battle Tome came out, so I was playing the new edition with Bok before Stormcast came out.
Yep.
And they're good. They're not amazing. Reason being, they're probably about 40 points overcosted. Well, maybe they're not overcosted, but they're not points competitive to the rest of the monsters in the Beast of Chaos.
Got it.
So they're 220 points.
Yep.
Which still seems cheap for what they do.
Yeah.
To anyone else, but not to block players. Not when we've got Gorgons for 150,
yes.
Jabbers for 165.
It's a relative costing.
It's a lot of points that you're throwing away onto a monster with a 5-up save. And that's the thing. That's the reason why the Gorgon needs to be so cheap for, is because it's so squishy.
Yep.
The Chimera is even more squishy. It's got less wounds.
Yeah.
Granted, it can fly, but it great candidate for summoning.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But it costs 10. That's the problem.
Oh, not 10 whole points.
Yeah, I know, right? So you're going to need to spend 2 turns of farming Primal Raw.
I remember back when 10 points would get you 2 Plague Bearers. No, not quite. But yeah. All right. Okay, cool. So Grand Strat. There's
Protect the Herdstone.
Protect the Herdstone.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to zoom in on this one. Hang on.
Do you just want me to tell you what it does?
Yeah, do.
So Grand Strat, end of the game, no enemy units within 9 inches.
Okay.
And it can't be smashed to rubble.
Right. Yes. Yep. So it can't have been smashed, and you can't have anyone near it.
Yep. I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but I'm fairly certain that Gatebreaker Gargants and the Foxfuckers from Lumineth have their own rules for breaking terrain.
Yeah.
But it's not called Smash to Rubble.
No, I don't think.
Because that rule specifies...
Yes, it has to be the Smash to Rubble Monstrous Rampage.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with an ability, you're dealing specifically with the Monstrous Rampage.
Yeah. So I think that if one of those buggers breaks it without using that rule...
Does the Gatebreaker break anything, or is it only garrisonable? Because I know Kragnos is only garrisonable stuff that you can smash. I'm not sure. I'd have to...
I'm not sure.
I might just quickly look it up.
Have a quick look. But yeah, it's an interesting thought because it sort of... Yeah, it wants to say as long as it's still standing, but it doesn't say that.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite specific. So, Gatebreaker... theirs is called Smash Down. That is add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack made by this unit that targets a unit
in
garrison.
Yep.
Or a unit that is wholly on or within a terrain feature. In addition, add 1 to the roll when you carry out Smash to Rubble.
Okay.
So it is still the same rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kragnos is one. He could use Smash to Rubble, but his War Scroll one, it has to be garrisonable.
Yeah, for him to break it.
Yep.
And that's when he does the explode after he takes damage.
He deals damage to everything within 6 inches, including terrain that is garrisonable. Yep. So
okay, so won't work on the Gatebreakers, but I'm fairly certain that the those Fox guys in Lumineth...
it does work on Gatebreakers because the rule, their rule is just +1 to the Smash to Rubble Monstrous Rampage. So, so Gatebreakers could still smash it.
But the name Fox guy, I can't remember his name for some reason.
Yeah.
So, no, that's a 40k model. He's just got his own rule, I think.
Yeah, right.
Just go tap it and it just breaks.
Have not had the pleasure of playing against it.
Neither. We don't have any Lumineth players in Bendigo.
Not locally, no.
I was one for a brief period of time until I sold them.
Yep.
Because it's just fucking boring as fuck to play with, in my opinion.
There you go.
Yeah, shout out to Rocky. He's soldiering on with the Lumineth.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a game tomorrow night with him. So.
Oh, dear. Nice.
Yep. So that should be fun.
Yep. Be good to see him in VGT.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be great to catch up.
Yeah. What else is there, mate? There's a couple of battle tactics, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's a few battle tactics. You've got In the Shadow of the Herdstone. Pick an enemy unit within 9 inch of the Herdstone. Complete this tactic if that unit is destroyed during this turn.
Perfect, yep. A lot of armies want a alpha at the moment.
Yep.
So you can really work that to your advantage to get this battle tactic early.
To bait them in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it works well at the end of the game too, when your grand strategy is to protect the Herdstone, which why wouldn't it be?
Yep.
if there's one unit left.
It's a good little double down, isn't
Yeah,
it?
double down just to really rub salt into the wounds of,
That's what we play the game for.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one's Fury of the Wild. You can only do this in your first turn. You complete this tactic if the model picked to be your general and 2 or more other friendly Bok units are within 3 inches of an enemy until the end of this turn.
Yeah. Yep. So, again, doubling down on the Alpha Strike meta.
Yep.
Someone sends in some pigs or more Crusher and fucking all that shit.
Yep.
You just need to get your general
into the fight.
And only 2 other units. They don't have to be in range of each other. They just have to be within 3 inches of enemy units. You get the battle tactic. When does it kick in? Sorry, was it end of the combat phase or at the start of?
It just says it's at the end of the turn that basically your general and 2 other models are in combat. So they've got to survive as well.
Yeah, okay, so they need to be with a whole heap of Ungor and shit. Because
probably
if like bulls get into something, they'll normally murder the fuck it.
Which means you're
really
not
violently.
Yeah, but then you're not within range of an enemy.
No, that's right.
So you need something that'll kick a bit, but kicks just enough to not be kicked off the table itself.
That'd be a really good one for goat spam, actually. Just a whole heap of goats.
Yep.
Because they don't do a whole heap of damage, but there's a lot of them as well. So it's
So you're probably going to balance out.
Yeah.
Last one, Wrath of the Warped Wilds. Pick an objective controlled by your opponent. Complete this one if at the end of the turn you control that objective and it's contested by any models in your army that were summoned with the Primordial Call battle trait. So it's basically it's Wrath of the Warped Wilds. You're actually summoning something, and that something is going and taking an objective off the enemy that turn.
Which, mind you, is very fucking easy to do these days because of Primal Raw.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the turn that they're summoned in on either.
No, it doesn't.
You can just summon on, X unit in the backfield and then move on to an objective late game and go for this one. Run out of easy battle tactics.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think those 3 are giving you some freedoms that you don't get with the baseline ones, because there are some that you never do turn 1 out of the regular ones because they're like impossible. And others that you can only really do late game as well. But this is giving you something to do at the start, something to do at the end, and something to do in between. So that's not bad. In
terms of White Dwarf updates, this is by far the best one. No other updates have come close to this.
No.
The OBR one was alright, but it wasn't good enough.
Yep.
To really sort of lift the faction up from the ground.
Yeah.
Pun intended there, their death. But it's fuck, I don't know. It's really good. It's what the army sort of needed. I would say it's not exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
But
it's still fucking good.
It's parallel as good as what I wanted it to be.
Yep.
I wanted numbers on War Scrolls changed. I wanted, say, +1 to hit on Bulgors if they charged or something.
Yep.
Right. Something like that.
Yep.
So instead of the +1 to hit, we get +1 rend.
Yeah.
Which I can't complain with.
No, rend's good.
Rend's fine. Just means that they're subject to whiffing still.
Of course.
Which, I think I had an extra attack with Gave Spawn on a unit of bulls the other day. I had 4 going into a Stonehorn.
Yep.
Out of and these are great axes, so there was 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 attacks.
Yep.
4 of them hit.
Yep.
But I was fortunate enough to have Wild Rampage, which is reroll wounds on, so they wounded with everything, ended up killing it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so, the ebbs and flows.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough.
But what are your thoughts on all these updates, mate? You've played against my Beast of Chaos probably more than anyone in Bendigo, I think, I'd like to say. And you've experienced them all through the different changes and updates and all that. So how do you think that this update's going to go?
I think anything that increases the range on a Herdstone is just magnificent.
So, and by that, one's unlimited range, board wide.
Yep.
And then the other one starts at 12, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like that's amazing. The fact that your rend is going to improve automatically late game, and what we're seeing in this edition is games run late. Games run to turn 4, turn 5.
Yep.
Like regularly. I haven't seen many games, if any, that are over before turn 3. Whereas in previous editions, the turn 3 priority would sometimes just swing the game.
You do see some games end at like turn 2.
Yeah, if something gets tabled.
Yeah, from just, long strikes or
Yep.
sentinels or, insert shooting unit here that's boring as fuck to play against.
Yeah, or something that successfully alphas you.
Yes.
That is a thing.
Which is a lot more common these days, mind you, because no one's running screens.
That's true. Well, because we've all gone elite, you don't have room for a screen unit in your army building.
No.
As far as the other rules here, the monstrous rampages are fun, highly situational, and I think the first one, giving you summoning points, is easily the thing you're going to go for as like every turn you possibly can.
Yeah. I want your opinion on this actually. Out of the other four. So the Gorgons one, the Cygor one, the Jabber one, the Chimera one.
Yep.
Which one do you think's the best? And why? So, quick recap. Gorgon was the extra rend and heal. Cygor was the endless spell one.
Yep.
Yes. That's
bottom. The Jabber's the
save characteristic changing one.
Yep.
And then the Chimera is +1 attack on its 4 weapon profiles.
I'd come down somewhere between the Jabber Scythe and the Gorgon.
Okay.
Just based on usability.
Yep.
And I suppose having the most opportunity to influence a game. I think those two are the ones that are going to do it. Having said that, what you say about the speed of a Gorgon, it means that you maybe it's only once per game.
Yep.
So that's a bit of a clutch moment.
It is.
That's a bit of a glory building moment.
If it doesn't get shot off the table before it makes combat, right?
Yeah, whereas your Jabber's probably the safe bet. What are they points-wise?
Jabbers?
Yeah.
165.
Yeah, okay.
And I want to talk about the Jabber Sloth a little bit more because I have been on the Facebook saying that Jabbers are the best monster that we've got. And I want to sort of explain a little bit more why, because I don't think I did that. I didn't do it justice earlier.
Yeah, sure.
So outside of the Monstrous Rampage, which is unreal, in my opinion, it's going to really help you push the damage through against some of those tougher units like Gargants and all that.
Yep.
It's got a 4-up save. It's the only 4-up monster in the book.
Yep.
Everything else is 5-up or 6-up with the Cockatrice. Right? It has -3 rend on one of its weapon profiles with the Herdstone.
Amazing.
Yep. It's also flies.
Yep.
So the only other flying monsters is the Cock, which isn't a behemoth.
Yep.
And the Chimera, which is way too expensive for Bok.
Yep.
Moves 12, flies, 4-up save, 10 wounds. So
Okay.
it's low on the wound scale, but it's
Yep.
165, so you're paying for the monster tax in that.
Yep.
And it sort of works out fine. But one of its rules, which it got changed actually in Broken Realms, this is one of the 2 War Scrolls, I want to say, that got updated. One was the Beastlord, which we won't talk about. He's RIP Beastlord, right?
Okay. Yep.
Lost all of his rerolls, he's garbage.
Okay. Yep.
Because I used to run one in every list.
Yeah.
But the Jabber got changed.
Yep.
So it's got its acidic blood still. So every time it takes a wound in combat on a 4+, the attacking unit suffers a mortal wound.
Yep.
So out of the 10 wounds, that's 5 mortals.
Yep.
Right. Here's the kicker, though. Right, and this is what I did against Tyson the other day, and I'll keep talking about this moment because it really opened up my eyes. I just wanted to try it out.
Yep.
Try out the Jabber Sloth because I haven't played it for years.
Yep.
I just wanted to try it out, but had the concept in mind. It worked out really well, which was its other rule on its War Scroll, which you roll 3 dice every time an enemy unit gets activated within 3 inches of it, right? So, say a unit of Fulminators, 4 Fulminators.
Yep.
Bravery 8 or 7 or whatever the fuck they are. If you roll higher than that, they get an extra attack on all their profiles. which you might be like, why the fuck would you want to give extra attacks to a heavy-hitting unit like fulminators?
Right.
But here's the thing, and this is why you do it. Every one to hit, so ones to hit, is a mortal wound back to the unit.
Okay, so you're
So
fishing for
they're
them
ones.
to hurt themselves.
Yeah. So for fulminators, with the extra attack, they go up to, 10 attacks per model?
Yeah, okay.
So 40 attacks.
40 attacks, yep. So you should see 6 or 7 ones.
Yeah. I did 15 mortal wounds to Tyson's fulminators.
So he's rolled very shit. So on average, you should see 6 or 7.
That was with the acidic blood.
Okay, so 6 or 7 plus another 5 gets you to probably 11 or 12 on average.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just slightly more average.
Yep.
Actually, I think it was average, and I did a couple of wounds with its shooting attack. Oh, it's also got a shooting attack. It's
got a
only
shooting,
9
yep.
inches, but it's
something.
still a shooting
Yeah,
attack.
it's still a pot shot.
3 shots or something with -2 rend.
Yep.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, for what it is, a gimpy little fucking monster.
How much to summon it?
7, I want to say.
Okay.
I would summon it for 7.
Yep.
And
So 2 rounds. 2 rounds, bring one in.
yeah, with good dice. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely consider bringing it on
Yep.
if I was versing Megas.
Yep.
Like, it's not in my list at the moment. I have played it in my list and I liked it, but I needed other things in my army to be really happy with it.
Sure. Yeah.
But the Jabber never used to come with me to events.
Yeah, right.
But it's coming in the summoning box now. It's replacing, I don't know, the Gorgon.
Yeah,
So I
sure.
never summon that on anyway.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be in the box now. And Bok with the extra points for summoning, they're very much a toolbox summoning army.
Yep.
So you can just take whatever the fuck you want and bring it on when you need it.
So what's the Gorgon summoning wise?
10.
Yeah, see that?
It's just too much. It's 3 turns of saving.
It's too much because I'm thinking, you know, he's slow and all these other things, but if you could summon one on turn 4 in a nice little prime position where he can sort of hook straight in, then that's a good use for him. And then you got a once per game thing. That's his use, but not in a starting army.
No.
And not walking across the board.
Ooh.
You actually need to bring him in right where he's needed.
Yeah.
And get into it.
The best way to play Gorgons is Dark Walkers, so you can just keep them off the board and bring them on 9 away around the board edges.
Yeah, just ambush in.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, then you've got 3 monsters like next to your opponent's army, and they're just going to kill them.
Yeah, you're going to bleed a few extra VPs. And
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much Bok.
Yeah.
I think they're in a very, very strong position now.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying at the start of all this, was just the updates, the constant updates of points decreases, extra rules.
Yep.
There's so many fucking rules that I have to remember now. I need 3 books, quote marks there.
Yep.
I need the magazine, I need the battle tome, I need the Kragnos fucking...
The Broken Realms.
Broken Realms, yeah. So... It's just never ending. Like, did you know Bulgars do mortal wounds on the charge now?
No.
Yeah, they do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah. It's a meaty update. I think it also means you're 2 years away from getting a new tome.
I'm happy with that. I like.
Oh yeah, I don't think you've got a bad deal out of it, but I think you're 2 years away from new War Scrolls.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Because this seems to make up for it.
This was the next best thing, and I'm more than happy with what's come out.
Yep.
Anyway,
Nice.
That's that.
All right. Thank you, Beastmaster.
Yeah. You're welcome, Dave. Thanks for listening to this segment of Bush Radio. You can find the whole episode on Spotify, Podbean, and iTunes.